Do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you.
Hey everybody, it's Dr. Willie Jolley and my beautiful bride,
Dee,
the beautiful, brilliant, and
she did too.
because she's smart, she's pretty, she got it all together. I'm grateful that I was able to talk her into saying yes. It took a lot of work. Oh yeah, it did, but it was worth the work. It was worth the work. Anyway, happy Labor Day to everybody, wherever you may be. We are kind of cooling out today. Had a great day today. Hope you did. Want to welcome those who are first timers to the Jolley Marriage Show. And we're here every Monday night at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. And we are available on all of the social media platforms. And so we are grateful for each and every one of you who has joined us. We're the authors of the book, Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last, 10 Secrets to Shape a Great Marriage. We've been married for 39 years, dated for 4 years, that's 43 years. Haven't had an argument in over 37 years. I was riding bike with my buddy today, and I mentioned that to him. He said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah."
That's because your wife always agrees with you.
That's not true. That's you know what? Hey, I'm glad I'm not close to you because there's some lightning strikes that could happen. That is not true. But we can disagree without being disagreeable.
Yes.
That's true.
And I always say yes.
Let me get away from you for those lightning strikes. I don't want to be hit by lightning. All right. So anyway, we don't always agree, and we
talk it through.
We talk it through.
And I think a sense of humor makes a world of difference.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
A sense of humor.
Yes.
And mutual respect.
That's right.
That's very important.
That's right. So, Greg and Linda are watching from home in West Virginia. And I know Gladys Pemberton said she was going to watch. She was here yesterday at a little party to celebrate my birthday. I got another birthday, which is tomorrow. Praise the Lord. And I'm grateful. So another trip around the sun. And I'm grateful to celebrate it. So we're going to have a day to celebrate. But we had a few friends over, just a few, because we did a very small gathering. And Gladys and Ron Pemberton were here, who are they've been married 45 years, I believe it is.
So they've been married 45 years?
I think it's 45. Anyway, Gladys will jump in and
so
tell
we've
us.
Been friends for... Oh, really? We've probably been friends for 50 years. Oh, my God.
And so
I'm only 50 years old. I don't know
how that happened. Anyway, they are mentioned in the book. They gave a great lesson about...
We're not going to go there.
Oh, yeah. But I guess a great lesson about going from me to we.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Let's go.
Focus for this evening.
All right. First of all, we want to welcome everybody.
Yes.
I'm glad you're here. Thank you, Greg, for my happy birthday greeting. But tonight is mailbag. What else? She called it something else. She called it viewer's choice. Our great, my vice president of marketing, Cheryl Reagan, said, call it viewer's choice. If you got a comment, you got an issue, you got a question, put it in the chat. We'll try and address it. But we got one that's already we got to talk
brewing.
Yeah. Already we got
all right.
And remember, folks, you can email us at any time with any issues. We'll keep them anonymous. info@williejolly.com. info@williejolly.com. Okay.
All right, this topic is, do we need a nurse, a purse, or a hearse?
Ooh.
Isn't that interesting? Do we need, or do I need a nurse, a purse, or a hearse? It's kind of a funny title, but it deals with increasingly now people are getting married older. More people are getting married after age 50 because they've been married. Many have been married earlier on. Now they're revisiting it. The spouse has died. The spouse divorced, and now they're choosing to marry again, which presents some different kinds of issues. And a recent study was done in 2021 by Bowling Green State University Center for Family and Demographic Research. That's a mouthful. Bowling Green State University Center for Family and Demographic Research says that there's a sizable increase in the number of people marrying between 50 and 59. And the research, I delved a little deeper into what does that mean in terms of is it 50 to 55? Is it 59 and so on? It's kind of convoluted, but the bottom line of the research was that older people are marrying for the second time and some for the first time, but it presents issues around how they pool their resources, if there are children, inheritances, and all of that. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Okay. All right. Now, according to this lady named Cassandra Rupp, R-U-P, who's a financial planner for Vanguard, that couples tying the knot after 50 have to think through different scenarios that young people who marry don't have to deal with. We didn't have anything when we got married. We really didn't have any.
No, we had
we didn't really need a financial planner because there was nothing to plan. We didn't have anything to plan. Okay, so like, what do you see differently? Should they blend their assets? Now we talk about that in detail in our book. I'm probably jumping around. Do you do a one pot? It's still the same situation. One pot.
Well,
keep everything separated, or do you have a hybrid? We talk about that in our
But this is different, though. The difference is when people are over 50, remarrying, whatever, the difference is sometimes they have children who are adults who are expecting a part of the inheritance.
Well, that's part of the challenge. But then there's also those, you 50 and 60, and you have kids who are in college.
Correct.
Okay. So it still goes back to, you're considering getting married. Are you going to pool all of your assets? I don't know. Probably not.
Probably not.
Because one person has a whole kind of set of bills and stuff going on that you probably don't want anything to do with, right? Maybe they will have a hybrid where they will pool some of their monies for like the house.
I see what you're saying. The three pot, what we call.
What we call the three pot.
Chapter number 9.
And this particular Vanguard financial advisor calls it a hybrid.
We call
all
it
it together, a hybrid, or everything separate.
Chapter number 10. Chapter number 10. Count the costs. Money matters. If you haven't read that chapter and you're married, you're missing a blessing.
Here's another challenge.
Okay.
Assuming you have a will.
Yeah.
How will you change your will?
That's another challenge.
Especially if there are children and there are challenges with the children with inheritances. Some don't say anything, but the jaws can get tight.
The jaws get tight. That's right.
And then personality-wise, y'all are having a good time. You're spending time together. But one tends to spend more than the other. One's a spender, one's a saver. What impact does that have on the future?
And then
wait.
Oh.
And this financial advisor talks about getting the credit score, which I agree.
Yes.
I think that's important, that you need to know what a person's credit score is, because that tells you everything you need to know about their finances, really. That provides you with a pretty accurate overview as to how they're handling
Can you get a credit score of somebody who, without them knowing about it?
I don't know, but you know,
is that legal or illegal?
I don't know. But if somebody won't give you, you're dating, you're thinking about getting married, all this, and they don't want to share their credit score?
Well,
I think that's grounds for non-marriage.
well,
What?
they might feel that's private.
You sleeping with them, you're doing everything else with them, and you don't want them to know your credit score?
That's correct.
Y'all sharing saliva and everything else, and you don't want them to know?
Correct. I don't know if you had asked me about my credit score when we were dating.
My level of sophistication now, I would. I didn't have enough
And
sense to know that.
And I would have been offended. What do you mean my credit
But
score?
I told you when we were dating that I had filed bankruptcy because I owed $600. I was stupid. I didn't know any better. So I did share. Okay.
You did share.
I did share.
But I didn't ask you what your present credit score was. That was prior to me meeting you. I didn't know whether
I didn't have anything because I had. I didn't keep it real. I didn't have anything. You didn't need to ask me that. I volunteered. I got nothing.
Yeah, I took you with nothing.
Nothing.
Because I loved you.
I don't think you had much.
I certainly did not marry you for your money. That's for sure.
So that's very important.
Hey, Terrence, how you doing?
Hey,
How are you? Where you been? We missed you. How your mama? Okay, we got some regulars here: Kazaras, Terrence, the Pembertons, and a lot of folks who watch on the replays. Thank you all for your support, and thank you for telling people about it. Okay, go ahead.
So these are very important issues. The money is important. It's not like, okay, I'm 20 or 30 years old and it doesn't work and I can go and I can start over. It is difficult to start over with nothing in your 50s and 60s. So you need to know, use a measure of financial security. You need to know where this person is with their finances. And if it's not forthcoming, that's a red flag.
Okay.
So why are they interested in you? Well, companionship, right? Could be companionship. It could be if you're a meal ticket.
Now, that's what I wanted to get to. I was getting ready to get there. What about the ones who want to connect with somebody because they need a meal ticket? They need a person to raise their children.
But you don't really know that until you start investigating. And you like, investigating? You really need, I hate to say that, but you really need to hire an investigator. If you're not sure, if you have, sometimes we get so excited because somebody's paying us attention after you've been alone, for a while, and somebody is giving you time and attention and making you feel really good, and other family members are starting to question and become uncomfortable with all this time and attention and what they're bringing, or the lack of what they're bringing to the table. Somebody needs to do an investigation. That's what I would say.
Okay.
Did they really have an abusive first marriage? Did the male get the custody of the children? Highly unusual for the mother to not get custody of the children. So sometimes family members become involved in, why are you dead up in love with this person that you've only known for a little while? And it might be for the right reasons, that they're concerned about you're getting caught because they're looking for a nurse or a person, financial, or maybe you already got one foot in the grave and they hope if they push you over that you've changed your will so that they become the beneficiary. This is part of some challenges that we're having now in terms of helping some family members to get an investigator, a private investigator.
Okay. All right. And that's true.
So these are things that you really investigate before you fall head over heels in love. And I think that's easy to say and hard to do.
Right.
So that is why you need to have, hopefully, people who are concerned about you in your corner, who can help you see when you have your blind spots, right?
Right.
So solutions. You need to have some investigation going on before you blindly go into this next relationship, especially when you are financially independent or pretty secure, so it would appear. I mean, it's real.
Let me say it a different way. You need to get investigation before you start spending money on this person.
What does that mean?
Okay, so you say head over heels.
You're traveling. Okay, you're traveling across the country with them, and you're paying airfare. What?
Terrence said he needed to hear this information 30 years ago. Anyway, here is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
You can fall in love and be head over heels in love with somebody,
Mm-hmm.
but when you start being
how do you know you're head over heels in love with somebody?
You're butterflies, you're feeling good, you're all happy. But when you start paying their bills, taking them on trips, loaning them money.
How do they reciprocate? Okay, got it.
You see,
yes.
You could be in love where it's mutual, okay, but when you start paying the bills and spending money and going on trips and you paying all the bills,
okay,
then that should be, Terrence says, ouch, ouch, ouch. That's that's something where I would say you need to slow down there. And you need to have a little bit of diligence and say, I love the person. I'm sure they're good, but just for.
This is when you need to have a family member or a confidant or somebody in your corner who can pull your chain and say, wherever you need to slow down. Or somebody, a family member said, I need to investigate to see if this person is for real.
Yeah.
Or if they're after my
because there's so many scams.
Now.
There's
oh my God.
so many online scams. People you meet online. Many scammers who are really, really good. They're really good.
Should be women and they're really men, for example.
Whatever the scam is. That their job is to trick you, to fool you, and so you gotta have a little wisdom. It's like we tell people about having wisdom. Don't click on stuff for people you don't know on email. Don't ever, when they send you a text saying that you got some packages that UPS, U.S. Postal Service can't deliver a big check to you, just click it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Go to the post office. Say, do you have that? Call somebody. Don't do it.
I don't think
those are the kind of scams you have to get in the same difference.
It is every day. It is not just emails, right? The phone call.
Tell them about the phone call you got.
Phone call last week. It's something almost every day.
Yeah.
From QuickBooks, we cannot renew your QuickBooks subscription because there's a problem with your credit card. Now, I have QuickBooks. So bits and pieces of our information is just out there. And they're constantly fishing to figure out how they can get it.
Right.
So I listened to this message like twice. I said, no, let me call QuickBooks. First, I checked my financial guide to see, okay, my QuickBooks renewal is supposed to be in December. And I paid for the year. So why should they be calling me? Right?
Right.
So I called QuickBooks, and it just takes about an hour because nobody wants to talk to anybody. Customer service is customer no service, as Clark Howard would say, whom I love dearly, one of the podcasters. And so I'm on hold, I'm doing other stuff. And when I finally get through, giving the account number and everything, I said, I received a call and I have the number of the 800 number and the name of the person who said, call them back. Right? And they said, let me investigate. That is not a QuickBooks number. It's a scam. Let me double check that number again. And we will put it in whatever the system is so that they can add that to their fraud list.
Wow.
And yes, you are confirmed. Your renewal is December. I'm already paid out. Isn't there something?
And so if you had just called that number and talked to that person and gave them your credit card.
But I know enough.
I know, but just if. I know you didn't. You knew enough to do it. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying about these scammers. Now, let me give you a couple comments who have jumped in. Olympia Borley, thank you for coming, joining us this weekend. Pump your brakes on those trips. Start off going half and half. Good idea.
That's a good idea.
Good idea. Jerome Washington said, switch off. The proper terminology for these folks would be hoodwinked or bamboozled. Amen. All right. That's it. Terrence.
When your emotions get involved, that's the problem.
Terrence says, everybody plays the fool sometimes. No exception to the rule. He said, I no longer use my ex-wife. Now, what's it? I no longer use ex-wife, now was wife. Anyway, look, folks. So that's it. So what we're saying is one of the points is, I want to go back to this point you had here.
What?
About, were you married before? Were you divorced? Or were you widowed? And we've had
that's an interesting take. Go ahead.
All right, so we've had a number of dear close friends who have become either widows or widowers in the last year. We had two
spouses passed away.
Two women whose husbands passed. I've got 4 men whose wife passed. 4.
Wow.
And one of the things that we said was so interesting was one of them said we heard about was that the guy who had the longest time said,
being a
widower. He said, you can expect to one of the guys who had lost his wife, women are going to come because you're a great catch now. See, when women in their 50s, 60s meet an eligible man, the first question, have they ever been married? Why not?
Then that's the problem.
They wonder.
They kind of check that one off.
They're divorced. Why? Is there some reason they did something? But then 3 is their spouse passed and they took good care of that spouse.
Then that person would be a good catch.
Ooh, they have a different perspective about it. And so you see, that's another part of this continuum. Okay, so married before, divorced, why? Widow, took care of the spouse, never married. And so some people are spenders, some people are savers, and some people couldn't care less about money. And they're in their 50s, they have nothing because then
they're going to use up yours.
They're going to use up yours. That's right.
So it is important, I think, everybody doesn't have that you need to have someone who will tell you the truth.
I like that. Pump your brakes. And I like what Jerome said, switch off. You have to be able to switch off and be logical for a moment. As much as you all are up in love. All up in love, you're flitter flatter, poop, 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 your heart is beating. I get it.
But
you have to have
that's so very
I know it's hard. I know it's hard.
Especially if you're lonely and people are paying you attention.
They're
so you need to have someone who can speak truth to you.
Yeah, that's right.
And family members, I believe in investigation. I believe in investigating. I believe in hiring the private.
Yeah, but you're easy for you to say on this side of the fence. When you're, happily, you're getting this new relationship, you're all butterflied, you're feeling so.
I antenna
yeah, but you're stoic by your nature. Okay, you're stoic. But
I'm rational.
Okay, but everybody is excited about new love. New love is exciting. So here's what we recommend. Everybody, when you get in a relationship, get 2 copies of the book. 2 copies of the book. Like the lady came to the church service and said, give me 2 copies. My husband on the way. We signed 2 copies. I said, Dee, you do it quick. Her husband picking her up. She said, no. He on the way. I'm not married, but he on the way. And I want him to read it when he gets here. All right, last few points. We got about 3 minutes left. 4 minutes left.
Okay, this Wells Fargo advisor, a lady by the name of Sandra Mack, says by the time you're in your 50s, you're pretty much who you are financially. And it's complicated. So you're not going to change. If you're already spending and you're in debt, you're probably not going to change. That's part of the pattern. That's why I'm saying you need to know the person's credit score. They won't give you the credit. That's the problem.
I don't know. I have a hard time if I was dating somebody. When I was dating you, if you had asked me, but if you had asked me, what's your credit score?
What? Credit score, you probably didn't even know what credit score was back then. Mr. Music Man, Payday Cash. You didn't know. Yeah, oh my God. probably in love with you.
You were not. I had to work on you to get you to. I had to work on her to get her to say yes. It was hard. It was hard.
But you've been my friend.
Yes. All right. So anyway, I would say it's always good to Google the person. That's starting point. Google them. See if they come up.
Well, that is a starting point.
And
Some
then-
of the information may or may
and
not
then-
be correct. So now you Google them. You got link. You're right. You got LinkedIn, right?
Yeah, but
The
LinkedIn.
professional part of professional
But
profile to
LinkedIn-
give you sense as to from whence they came.
Well, they put their LinkedIn profile. They can lie on that. The Google, you'll find stuff in their background. You know, people trying to get rid of the bad stuff about them. There's a whole company, there's a whole industry to take your bad stuff down. But sometimes you can get that. But then you need to do a little investigation.
Thank you.
I agree with that. But
Proud of that.
Terrence, what do you say? Let's see, Terrence. I'm telling them treating me like your dog. Free rent, gas, etc. Take me to the doctor. I need a bowl of food and water. Okay. Okay. Look. Any last point? Because this is just a holiday.
You need to discuss your income, your spending habits, as well as, I mean, if you're thinking about getting married, particularly the second time around or in midlife, you need to know the income. What are your income sources? You know, your 401k, your Roth, a TSP, retail investment money.
I wouldn't tell somebody I was dating about all of that.
Honey, we're talking about people who are
If I'm not
thinking
married,
about getting married.
well, I got to be real committed.
You're exchanging bodily fluids.
That's different than me telling you about my money. I ain't telling everybody about my money. It took me a long time to tell about my money when we got married. Yeah.
It was a penny pincher and it was jacked up in a brown
Tight
bag.
wad. Tight wad.
And it was in a brown bag. Receipts in a brown bag. What a way to do one's taxes. Lord have mercy. From whence we come.
Terrence said he gonna tell her I make minimum wage. Let's keep it moving. All right.
But it is necessary to. How are you going to be with somebody that you've worked all your life? I mean, the majority
You need to do some.
of
You
it-
do need to do some. You need to be rational while you're emotional. You're emotional, but you need
Is
to have
that a
some rationality.
contradiction?
I know they are, but you need to be able to say, "Let me think logically here,"
Mhm.
because I know I'm all up into this.
You marry them, they get 50% of your assets.
That's true. Or as one friend,
That's 50% of everything that you've worked so hard.
now Olympia is a wedding planner.
Mhm.
ORB, Royal Treatment.
Mhm.
ORB, if you're interested in having a wedding planner who's
She
exceptional.
says, I have money talks with my wedding client.
She says, I have money talks with my wedding clients. So that's brilliant. ORB, Royal Treatment is her. So anybody around the world, she's in Maryland. But
You can Google her.
yeah.
How about
she's-
that?
ORB, Royal Treatment. She's fantastic.
Oh, Olympia.
Olympia. Okay, our
Good.
time is up. Our time is up. I know you got more stuff, but our time is up. It's just Labor Day. Tomorrow, my birthday. I'm going to have a good birthday. I'm enjoying myself. And then I'm getting back to work. We got a lot of work to get done. Boom.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, sweetie pie. I love you.
I love you.
We got a just a ongoing date. All right, our time is up.
Thank you for joining us this evening.
See you next Monday night. Send your questions, your issues, concerns, things you're dealing with. info@williejolly.com. info@williejolly.com. Thank you, Miss Minnie Houston. I thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Aw.
I believe your son's birthday is today. Would you make sure to give him our greetings and happy birthday? And birthday to Daryl Brooks. No, my birthday's tomorrow, Terrence. The 3rd of September, a day you always remember. Anyway, thank you, Desiree Matthews. Said great show. And blessings to everybody. Our time to go. Hope y'all have a great day, a great week, a great month of September. Make it a great
On
month.
purpose.
On purpose.
Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you.